Before I open up for the discussion, let me ask you a question related to the second part in terms of opportunities. I think, from what I understand, you said you talked about India, maybe in the region having a policy that is sort of is hearing more in that sense, listening more to some of the neighbors in the region of South Asia. Do you think that that there could be a qualitative difference in the nature of the relationship that India has with its region, with South Asia, in terms of issues such as terrorism that India faces and concerns over China's economic and strategic role in terms of Pakistan and the region?
Sure, there are issues, but I think what's important is that you develop a strategy based on your foundational strengths. And one of my main complaints about the current government is that I don't see a coherent strategy based on India's strengths. I see tactical responses. I see knee-jerk reactions. But I don't see a strategic vision that says, okay, this is how India is going to chart its course through the 21st century. I don't see the consistency. That's my real problem. I see a visit to Nepal, and then I see a complete flip. I see what's going on in the Maldives. I see what's going on in Sri Lanka. I see what's going on with CPEC, but I don't see a clear strategic response. I've also been trapped in the hug politics, but I don't think you can run foreign policy based on hugs. It doesn't work. I think that's really the thing. We have tremendous structures in our country, institutional structures that understand these things. One has to use those structures to develop strategy.
Because I suppose one of the things this government has been trying to do, the current government, is to instead of being a balancing power, to seek to be a leading power, to seek to punch above its weight as opposed to punching below its weight. And there are key challenges.
If you understand deeply the design of your country, you will punch at your weight. You can't punch above your weight. Geopolitically, you can't have more power than you have, but you can maximize the power you have. And today, I don't see India maximizing the power it has. And I'll give you a couple examples. I spoke about the transition. I spoke about India, 1.3 billion people, changing the way they view the world. You create divisions between those people. You're reducing India's power. You carry all those people together. You're going to punch at your maximum weight. So I think the discussion often in India, today especially, is very polarized. I don't think that allows India to punch above its weight. I mean, if all four of us are speaking in one voice, we're punching with our entire weight. If I'm fighting with you, we're not punching in our weight. So I think internal issues are very, very important. I'll give you another example. What was done with demonetization against the informal sector? Basically an attack on the small and medium businesses. That's India's power. India's power is millions of small and medium businesses. Those are the guys who are going to create the jobs. You bypass the entire Indian institutional structure. You demonetize the economy. The world is stunned. People just are like, what happened? And I mean, the shock is so extreme, people can't comment on it. Economists can't comment on it. It takes them a week to figure out actually what has been done. And then you realize the RBI wasn't spoken to. The finance minister didn't know. The cabinet was locked up. And the idea came from the RSS directly into the mind of the Prime Minister. That's not maximizing India's power. India's power is its institutions. India's power is its democracy. And that's what projects our power into the world. Right. Similarly, China's power is the ability of the Communist Party to organize China. That's what projects their power. So to me, you can't divorce what is going on inside India and say, well, I'm dividing my society, I'm wiping out the job creation engine, and I'm punching above my weight. You need your legs on the ground. You can't lift one leg up and say, now I'm trying to punch above my weight. It sounds nice, and the media can pick it up, but that's not what's happening. If you look at the central challenge, how does India punch above its weight? Really? India punches above its weight by solving its job problem. Today, India has a job crisis. The government figures, we always talk about growth, we love talking about growth. It's important. Government figures in India. China produces 50,000 jobs, formal jobs, every 24 hours. Do you know how many India produces? Can anyone guess that? Anyone? Indian government figures, formal jobs in 24 hours? 450. Not my figures. The government of India's figures. How can you tell me that's punching above our weight? So when you ignore fundamentals, you say that, listen, we're not going to do job creation in India. We're going to attack the institution, the only institutions that can actually create jobs, which are the small and medium businesses. You do not support your agriculture sector. And then you go abroad and you say, I'm punching above my weight. Okay. Sounds nice.
This is a good opportunity. I think we've been focusing on the domestic aspects of foreign policy, but I think it's a good opportunity to open up the discussion for others. And
can I just interrupt you? Just want to say one thing. If you look at India's successes, and you look historically over the not only 70 years, you look thousands of years, India's successes have come when India has decentralized power. The best rulers in India, the most effective rulers in India have decentralized power. And if you look over the last 70 years, the real successes are all about decentralization of power and the breaking of monopolies. You can view the Green Revolution through that lens. You can view the White Revolution through that lens. You can view the telecom revolution, Sam Pitroda will tell you, through the lens of the breaking of the government monopoly on telecoms. You can view liberalization through that lens. You open up in India, you open the door in India, and India's power surges. You close the door in India, India's power retracts. And what has been going on over the last 4 years is a massive, massive centralization of power in the chief minister on one hand and the prime minister on the other hand. So the reason we got attacked the way we did in 2014 was because we were attacking some of these monopolies, and those monopolies hit us back.